Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Simon's Level X, and we're back here on Dokkan Battle to review the new EZAs that are coming out for the Hero Celebration. So we've got a total of 13 EZAs here between the free-to-play characters and the Gacha characters. They're coming in the second Heroes Extreme Z Battle. So I'm going to be just reviewing them, seeing what they could possibly get as upgrades. I've got them all pulled up here to see what they can get as upgrades and all that stuff. I hope all these guys are good, because even the free-to-plays, two of my Oms and Cumber, specifically, the free-to-play ones, are two of my favorite Heroes cards, and I really want them to be good. Oms is one of the first free-to-play cards I farmed up, and he looks cool. Cumber was just super useful for me because of his stacking abilities, and I just want them to be good. So let's just go over the all the units. I got them all pulled up here in tabs. I don't know if I have that recording. I don't remember, but anyway. We got Oms up here first. This is not intentional, by the way. I just went in order of the typings when clicking the images. But so his abilities, he's just a free-to-play unit, so his leader skill isn't going to be too crazy. His super attack might be decent in Super Battle Road, or it's already decent in Super Battle Road, lowering attack and defense. That's a good ability. His stats right now cannot keep up. If they do like raising defense for one turn or something on his super attack, or maybe raising allies defense for one turn on super attack, something like that, then maybe that would be a good super attack effect. Don't know if they do it, but if they like even make this greatly lowering attack and defense, he's already have pretty good Super Battle Road based ability with just lowering attack and defense. His passive skill, attack and defense was 50%. Let's just change this to a higher number, make this like 200%. I don't know. He's Extreme Class Allies, Ki +2, and Defense plus 30%. Artificial Life Forms, Category Allies, Attack plus 30%. This guy could be a good floating support if they just give him something. If they give him Guard, Damage Reduction, Dodge, just higher defense, defense stacking, something like that. He could be a good floating support to give Extreme Class Allies 30% defense, and then the Artificial Life Forms 30% attack. That could benefit the Coolers. They're on Artificial Life Forms. Who are on Artificial Life Forms that are on Super Dragon Ball Heroes? This is going to be a long video, by the way, honestly. We got Baby Janemba here. Yeah, Baby Janemba. I have to think here. Let's see. Heroes. What's this guy called again? It's a Boo. Boo, is it Bobbity Absorb Boo? I think that's what it is. Yeah. Kid Boob with Bobbity Absorb. That can give him some good support, even though he's already a floating support. Let's see. Isn't Tech Cooler on? No, Tech Golden Cooler will be, or not Tech. Golden Metal Cooler will be on Artificial Life Form. So that's an extra unit there. Esther Mira, if he gets an EZA, he can be a good unit to have on there. But overall, if he just gets some stat buffs and raises to his defense, and he can just float and buff allies' defenses and Ki, that would be very, very good as is. And overall, I think that's what he should get. He's also got Big Bad Bosses, so if he's linking up with other Big Bad Bosses units on Heroes, I don't think many other Heroes units have Big Bad Bosses, though, is the thing. No, honestly. That kind of sucks, but oh well. If you can get a unit with Big Bad Bosses, Golden Metal Cooler, he's the best example of a unit to use here. Like, this guy, if he's got Big Bad Bosses, then that would be very, very good for him to get the extra 25% attack and defense. But yeah, let's move on here to Cronoa, the Sacred Power of Time, Supreme Cat of Time. Okay. She already looks pretty decent, she has a decent base kit. Massively raises defense for one turn and seals the super attack. Honestly, you don't need to change much about this. You don't need to change really anything. If I was begging, I would do massively raising defense for 3 turns or something like that. That would be really good. But honestly, her super attack's already really good as is. And if she gets an Extreme Z Awakening, her super attack or her leader skill can actually get really good. Because if she becomes a 120% tech type leader, super tech leader, then she's a good lead for sorry, I have to think. She's a good lead for Ultimate Clash, and then Dragon Ball Heroes just 120%. I mean, if you wanted to run a Heroes team in Clash, then she could be a good lead, but nothing crazy. All allies attack and defense plus 30% and Ki +3, and chance of performing a critical hit plus 12%. Great chance of an additional attack plus 12% for all allies. Great chance of an additional defense plus 12% for all allies. So she's built to be she's like the super class version of the Int Toa that we got like 2 years ago, back with Vegeto's release, Super Saiyan 4 Vegito. Just buff her, give her some start of turn stats, defense mostly, Give her, I think they should give her a dodge chance, at least. If it'd be better if she had guard or like damage reduction, but dodge at least. She kind of is built to be like a support that can dodge and buff allies to an extreme amount. I think her base support should be 40% and then have an extra 20% or 30% attack boost and then chance for additional defense 30% boost as well, for an up to like 70% defense boost, or just defense and attack boost. Her key is already fine. She would be very good floating support if she just got some more base, more start of turn defense, some maybe dodge or damage reduction in there, and then she's still got the ability to massively raise her defense for 1 turn. The stats are already going to help her a lot from the Extreme Z Awakening. She's going to have like 12,000 defense at Rainbow, which is pretty decent. But yeah, that's about it for her. Great Saiyaman 3. This guy already looks like he can be super decent if they just change around his kit a little bit. Leader skill doesn't look like it's going to be anything crazy. Maybe 120% super class if you're lucky. Sorry, whoops. Justice Slash causes immense damage and raises super class allies' attack by 25% for 1 turn. Maybe just make it so he raises defense himself, or he also buffs allies' defense as well by 25%, or buff it to like 30 to 35%. That would be even better. But yeah, just change his super attack to do something like that. He'd be super good. Passive skill, attack plus and defense plus 17%, chance of performing a crit plus 3% per time travels category ally in the team. I don't like this ability because God Trunks has the same ability. It kind of really screwed him. But if they're going to make it so he's only runnable on like crossovers, time traveler, or crossover time travelers or heroes, that's basically all you're really going to be running time travelers on, except maybe like a Trunks-based hybrid Saiyans team, but you're not going to get much out of that. Give him like a decent start of turn buff, and then make it so this attack and defense buff is amazing. Make this like attack and defense plus 40% per time traveler's ally, and chance of performing a crit like 8% per time traveler's ally. Because even with 3 time traveler's allies, that's a 24% crit chance, and that would be a 120% attack and defense buff. And then just give him like 150%, 200% start of turn attack and defense, and he's already really good. And change this defense minus 30% within the same turn after receiving an attack. Either get rid of it or make it a buff of 30% defense, which I think would be really good. And then he counters normal attacks. I know that they did this back in the day for units that have this kind of ability with counters. They would lower their defense, so it kind of like equals out. You get the extra damage, but you also take more damage. That's not how this meta really works anymore. You really just want to raise the defense and then also give him counters. That would be a very good buff for him. Salsa. Salsa on release wasn't really amazing, but they could probably change him up to be decent. He's a free-to-play unit, so I don't expect too much, just like Alms, but I really do want him to be good as well. Greatly raises defense for 1 turn and seal super attack. Great super attack effect. You don't need to change really anything. Crossover is just going to be a 77% leader skill. Doesn't matter. Attack and defense plus 60%, attack plus 15% up to 60%, and chance of evading enemy's attack up plus 10% up to 30% per crossover category ally on the team. If they're going to make him built on crossover category, make him built to be used on it, then do the same thing that I said with this guy. Give him a bigger buff. Make it attack and defense plus, like, I don't know, 30% up to, like, 150 or 180%. And make his dodge chance up to like 60 or 70%, which I think is just, I think that's fair. And then maybe give him something for like when he seals super attack, like if the enemy's super attack is sealed, guards all attacks, or extra defense plus 50% or something like that, something to help his like, or give him support so he's actually like just a decent floater as well. Give him some extra defense and make him float, do all that stuff. I think that would be very, very good for him, and just overall actually using the unit. Golden Cooler. Tech type, Q plus 3, HP attack and defense was 100%, well, extreme tech. He could also be another good leader for Ultimate Clash, just if they make this a 120% stat buff. Golden Supernova raises attack, so he stacks. If they make the stacking a lot better, if you make this like greatly raising attack and then make him have more additionals in his passive, he could be really crazy. A miniature LR Cooler, maybe. Attack and defense was 100%. All allies key plus 2, and attack and defense was 20%. Buff this, or buff both of these, obviously. Buff his start of turn stats to like maybe 200% or something. Would be very beneficial to him. and buff this ally support to like 30%, because his main job isn't really supporting. He also can do like a lot of damage and do some other stuff. So his support isn't the main focus, but just give him the extra 30%. He'll be doing that as well, and that'd be very useful. Plus an additional attack and defense plus 30%, and launches an additional attack, which has a medium chance of becoming a super attack when there are 3 or more Dragon Ball Heroes category allies on the team. I don't like that, I'll be honest. So what I would want them to do is change it so instead of just Dragon Ball Heroes, make it like or Wicked Bloodline or like Transformation Boost allies on the team, so he can be run on LR Cooler's team. That would be very, very useful. And maybe give him, change his medium chance to like a high or a great chance. Maybe give him another additional in there so it could be like up to 4 super attacks in a turn. You don't have to do that. But then I would also want you to give him more stats every time he performs an attack, like attack on defense plus 10% with each attack performed up to like 80, 90%, 100% even maybe, something like that. And maybe give him stacking defense. If they give him all of this stuff, stacking defense, a little bit extra to his support, extra start of turn stats, raising stats the more he launches additional attacks, make it so his additional restriction isn't just on heroes and can also be used on other teams, those will all make this guy extremely solid. At least I believe so. Fu. Dragon Ball Heroes category Ki plus 3. Oh, gosh. Dragon Ball Heroes category Ki plus 3 and HP attack and defense plus 130%. Change this to 150%. He wouldn't be an amazing leader, but if you somehow don't have another leader, then I guess he could work. Raises attack and defense for 1 turn, causes immense damage and steals super attack. You don't need to really change this. This is just a fine super attack effect as is. Attack and defense plus 150% when performing a super attack. Ki plus 1 up to Ki plus 4, and chance of evading enemy's attack plus 10% up to 40% per time traveler's ally on the team. Give him more stats. Give him a better dodge chance and more stats as well. And make his super attack buff higher. So instead of just 150%, maybe make it like 200%, 250%, something like that. He'd be very, very solid then. And make his evasion chance up to like 60% maybe. That would be pretty useful and would work pretty well, I would say. Let's see. Another ability, maybe give him like an additional, maybe guard all attacks if the enemy's super attack is sealed or something like that. Or if their attack and defense is lowered or something like that. Maybe give him lowering attack and defense as well on his super attack effect, and he'd be a good super battle unit with his dodge. Because right now I don't like that he's restricted to time travelers. But just give him more stats per time traveler's ally on the team and make it like really worthwhile. Maybe like 20%, 30% attack and defense buff. The more time traveler category allies on the team up to like 120%. Then make this like maybe 220, 250%. And he'd be extremely solid on the heroes team. Next, Xeno Super Saiyan 3 Goku. This guy, a lot of people say he's got the best potential to be amazing, and I would agree. He does. He has very, very high potential with his EZA. So his leader skill isn't too amazing, but again, he could be another STR lead for Ultimate Clash. His super attack effect isn't really amazing. High chance of stunning the enemy. Change this to like maybe raise defense for 1 turn or something like that. Just give him the extra defense that he could use. Attack defense is 100% and guards all attacks. This is a very good base effect. Just buff the stats a little bit, and this is already good. Plus additional attack plus 50% when performing a super attack. Maybe put some defense in there or something like that. It doesn't really need it, but maybe just put some extra defense in there as well. Reduces damage received by 7%. This is the big one. Per Dragon Ball Heroes category ally on the team. This guy could be an amazing slot 1 tank if this guy can... If they do like 10%, reduces damage received by 10% per Dragon Ball Heroes ally on the team up to like 50%, and then having the 50% damage reduction, guard, and good start of turn stats. Really great slot 1 unit. Probably could be tanking like Broly. Probably could be tanking Metal Cooler Core since he has type advantage extremely well. That'd make the Heroes team very, very good against a lot of these red zone fights. And we'll see how the new one is too. We'll definitely have to see if that's... how challenging that is, and see if this guy can also clutch in there. But yeah, he already has a very good base kit. Just expand on it a little bit, give him some extra defensive stats, give him some extra damage reduction, and he's basically set, honestly. The next one, World-Saving Hero Great Saiyaman 4. He's another free-to-play. He stacks attack and defense. That's good. I didn't even know he did that, I'll be honest. Did he release with Cumber, or did he release with ARMS? I think he released with ARMS, didn't he? 2 SSRs can be applied. acquired. Yeah, he released with Alms. Okay. I thought it may have been like the superclass counterpart to Cumber. Anyway, so stacking, honestly, great super attack effect. Keep it the same. Maybe make it greatly if he's a free-to-play, because honestly, I don't think he's going to be raising it fast enough to be in any meaningful content. Attack defense plus 50%, superclass allies key plus 2, and defense plus 30%, youth allies attack plus 30%. Do the same thing that I said to do with Alms, but do it for superclass. Give him extra start of turn stats, make his defensive buff a little bit better, make his youth buff better, maybe put more allies on this instead of just youth. Because honestly, youth, you're not going to be using this kind of youth team. Well, you might, but like, youth isn't really that good of a category anyway. Stacking's good. Maybe give him some chances for additionals in here. Just buff it. Just buff his stats a lot and buff his support, and then maybe give him a chance for an additional super somewhere in his passive, and he could be extremely solid, like a good floater on the heroes team, or just all of his teams really. Cumber, this guy's really, he's got good potential, I would say. He also stacks, so don't really need to change anything in his super attack effect, I mean. Key plus 2 and attack and defense was 50%. Just buff his stats. That's it. Who cares about the key? Just buff his stats. That's it. Just buff them. All extreme class allies attack and defense was 20% when attacking. Maybe just remove the when attacking and make it so it's just all the time, just consistent. And maybe make it like 30. And if you keep it when attacking, make it like 40 or 50%. Really make it so it's worthwhile to have this guy potentially in slot 1 or slot 2, making it so your allies in slot 2 or 3 get stronger. Superclass enemies attack and defense was minus 20% after receiving an attack. Yeah, that's how this guy's kit is built pretty weird. Launches an additional attack, a super attack within the same turn after receiving an attack as the first attacker in a turn. You'll want this. This guy needs something in order to actually be able to consistently stay in slot 1. His stacking can make it for him, but he needs something that will allow him to build up early on in events, or even in these events where you have no time to build up. I think you should do like the same thing that you have with Tech, Goku Black, and Zamasu. Give him like guard for 3 turns, 5 turns from the start of turn. Give him another additional super attack in here, and then build his full additional in your hidden potential. Have it so he is stacking, potentially doing 4 super attacks in a turn, and he's guarding for the first 3 turns. So that way, that whenever the effect wears off, the guard wears off, he's got really good defense, and he can keep raising it the more he super attacks in slot 2. He's also got that good super battle road effect with attack and defense minus 20% for super class enemies. And he can buff the extreme class allies stats. So if you just give him like something like guard and obviously higher stats, then I think he can be very good in slot 1, so he can build up his stats and then work as a potential slot 2 or slot 3 floater unit. Reminds me of Fizzcumber. I don't think that's the next one though. Sealess. We'll talk about Fizzcumber here. We'll just talk about Fizzcumber now. I didn't know this was him, but all right. Super leader skill, whatever. Super attack effect. Give him like his super attack effect is really good for Super Battle Road right now, but you can't really use him in many stages. You can use him in Giant Form, Pure Saiyans, Time Travelers. Okay, you can actually use him in a lot of places. I stand corrected. And then Extreme Fizz, obviously, in Extreme Class. But make him better for a lot of other events as well instead of just Super Battle Road. Give him like raising defense for 1 turn or something like that. Key plus 2 and attack defense was 150%. Just buff this, make this a higher start turn stat, because my 55% one is not getting a lot from this, honestly, so I would rather them just make this higher, 200%-ish. High chance of stunning superclass enemies after receiving an attack. All of these guys kind of work off of getting hit. Both of these Cumbers work off of after getting hit. Turns into giant ape when conditions are met. Don't really need much with his. Okay, with the giant ape condition, just make it so it crits. Guaranteed crits. That's what these great apes need, something for their damage. Otherwise, they're just time wasters. Honestly, the damage doesn't really help that much. So give him guaranteed crits in his great ape form. But anyway, give this guy something. Either make it so this guy is an amazing slot 1 unit, or make it so this guy's an amazing slot 1 unit, and then they can link up together and do a lot of shit. Basically, if you want to make this guy the slot 1 unit, give him guard and damage reduction, just straight up. Give him good start turn stats, raise defense for 1 turn on super attack, guards all attacks, I don't know, reduces damage received by 40%. He's a fine slot 1 unit then, honestly. Or you'll need to buff his stats a lot, because honestly, even with like 300,000 defense, 40% damage reduction isn't going to do much for you. So you'll probably want to give him a little bit extra stuff, like maybe guard. I don't know. I have to think. Maybe each attack received, or each attack performed, get extra defense and attack, or something like that. Even if you want to build these guys like glass cannons, maybe make this guy defensive, make this guy offensive. Like, make this guy do like 7 to 8 million super attacks per turn. I know that's not amazing, but it's great for a free-to-play unit. And then give this guy like damage reduction, guard, all this stuff for slot 1. And then have this guy in the back just raising his own defense, raising his own attack, doing these 7, 8 million attack stats, all of that stuff. Let's see, next one, Silas. All types boosted. You're not going to get much of leader skill out of that. Greatly lowers defense. This is an extremely useless super attack effect. Even when he transforms, massively lowers defense. Give him raising defense for 1 turn. Okay, raises attack and defense for 1 turn here, and then like greatly raises attack and defense for 1 turn here. Just that's all you need. All you need for this guy. Attack and defense was 100%. Performing a super attack. Buff this a little bit. Artificial life form category allies keep +1 and attack +20%. Time traveler category allies keep +1 attack +20%. Fuse when conditions are met. Starting from the 5th turn, start a battle. That's fine. Make this support. Also buff defense and make it better. Make it like key +2, attack +30%, and defense +30%, and make this like key +1, attack +30%, and defense +30%. So that's just helping out specifically, gets extra 60% stats even when he's already on the turn giving support. So imagine you got a rotation of, I don't know, a good slot 1 unit. Let's say Golden Metal Cooler is an amazing slot 1 unit, and he can already do a lot of damage. Put him up there, put in the middle, or put Silas in the middle. That's giving Golden Metal Cooler an extra 60% stats right there, and then put in there with extra support here with like maybe 40% artificial life forms or extreme class defense support. You're already giving Golden Metal Cooler 100% support in terms of attack and defense with those 2 units on rotation. Making these 2 guys work really well together could have a ton of support, which would be really good. And then in here, key +3, attack and defense was 60%. Attack and defense was 120% when performing a super attack. Give him higher start of turn stats. Give him a higher performing a super attack, or higher stats when performing a super attack, and keep his support. Don't make it so he just gets rid of the support. That sucks. I'll be honest, that just sucks. Just keep the support, honestly. That's it. Greatly raises attack and defense for 1 turn. Higher start turn stats. Higher super attack stats, and just keep the support when he fuses. That's it. That's all you need for this guy. Poutine. Poutine actually is decent, in my opinion. I've used her for the Time Travelers Extreme Super Battle Road stage that recently dropped. I used the Heroes team, and she was really good on it. Raise attack defense for 1 turn, causes supreme damage with a medium chance to stun an enemy. Maybe make it a high chance to stun instead of a medium chance. That's it. That's all I would really change. Attack defense was 120%. Maybe make that higher. Plus an additional attack defense was 12% per crossover category ally on the team. Just buff this as well. 30% maybe. Be really good. Plus an additional attack, plus 70% when the target enemy is stunned or the target enemy super attack is sealed. Maybe put a defensive buff in here as well, because she'll definitely be floating. She'll be floating and doing some good damage and supporting and all of that. Crossover category allies, key +2 and attack and defense plus 30%. Just buff this to 40 or 50%, honestly, to make her a really good free-to-play support for the Heroes team. Crossover team, whatever. Attacked enemies... that is being weird. Attacked enemies attack minus 20% for 2 turns and seals attacked enemies super attack. So just for 2 turns from the start of turn, I guess. This effect doesn't really mean much. Just maybe make this attack buff a little bit, or attack debuff a little bit better. She's good in Super Battle Road. So just buff her defenses a bit and give her good support, and she can be a good floating support unit for the Heroes units, or whatever team she's running, specifically Crossover, because that's all you're really going to be running her on is Crossover and Heroes. Super Saiyan 3, Vegeta Xeno, our last unit we're going to cover here. This guy... okay, greatly raises attack for 1 turn, causes immense damage, and greatly lowers defense. This guy can probably work really well with Goku. Where's Goku? Goku, right there. These guys could be a great rotation if they just build Vegeta. Let's say build Goku like, I don't know, Biz Janemba or something like that. Build him to be how I mentioned it earlier again. Just give him more guard, more damage reduction, whatever. Well, give him better damage reduction, some better defense. And then make Vegeta like LR Cooler. Give him good defense, and then make him hit like a fucking truck. How about massively raises attack for 1 turn, causes immense damage, attack and defense plus 200%, disables enemy's guard, plus additional attack and defense, a chance of performing a crit plus, I don't know. How about attack and defense plus 20%, and chance of performing a crit plus like 10% per Dragon Ball Heroes category ally on the team, up to 50% crit chance, and up to like, I don't know, 100% attack and defense, plus additional attack plus 50% when performing a super attack. How about attack and defense plus 100% when performing a super attack? This guy would be really good in slot 2, be hitting like a truck, give him like a built-in additional, like medium chance to launch an additional super attack, or something like that. And then he could be launching up to 3 super attacks in a turn for like 10, 11 million each. Be like LR Cooler, Dragon Ball Heroes LR Cooler, basically. Build this guy to be very offensive and have good defenses as well. Overall, I hope a lot of these guys are good. I hope they're all good, but I'm honestly expecting just a couple of them to be good. I really, really do hope that they will make them all good. But if they don't make all of them good, I really just want them to make the Supreme Kind of Time, Golden Cooler, Cumber, both Cumbers, and these two, the Goku and Vegeta, really good. I hope they make those like 6 or 7 units I mentioned really good out of all of them, because I love I love Golden Cooler. This Goku and Vegeta are really cool. I don't have the Vegeta. I really do want to pull him if I can. Make the Cumbers good. I love using the Cumbers. So make all these guys good if possible. They'd be really, really, really great units on the Heroes team. And I hope Heroes doesn't age out again this year. They're making a Heroes Red Zone. I might make a little video over what I think they could bring in for that, like in terms of characters and difficulty and whatnot. But I'm not sure yet, but this video is going to go up first anyway. But yeah, anyway guys, I think that's going to be it for this video. I hope you all enjoyed, and I will see you all later.